talking about politics coming from a view of the streets. You know what I'm saying?
That was a pivotal moment in post-show history.
We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers. None of that shit that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood view. You know? Representation of black people. Kanye on the bench because we don't know who Clarence Thomas represents. He's sitting on a Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
I don't know if you heard me in that, but I'm Rad B.I.D. Jones.
And I am Tony, the #1 soul brother.
This is HVP, Hoodviewpolitics, where we
Coming
break it down
at you
in deep detail, dive
deep
into politics. You know what I'm saying? That
deep.
that's how we do it. You know? Today we got a lot going on. We got Kanye West, we got issues, you know what I'm saying? Biden, we got Brittany Griner. It looks like she might have a hope to get on before the end of the year. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. You know, that'd be a nice Christmas gift for everybody. Get that girl home for the end of the year. Her and the other gentleman. And you know,
we got police shootings.
Oh,
and as usual, bigots.
bigots.
More bigots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything been good though?
Oh man, everything's straight, you know what I'm saying? And getting straighter, so you know, but we here tonight about this. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the political sphere and that's not straight, that's not good, and let's jump on it.
I mean, there's so much about police shootings we can get into, but we're gonna have a police officer come on, Lawrence Hunter. He's gonna join us on the podcast. We're gonna engage in a lot of different topics. You know what I'm saying, dog?
And stick around for that because that's gonna be real enlightening, real mind blowing, and we're gonna put something in your head that you really need to hear. Exactly. And it's coming from you could say the other side, but you know what I'm saying. Once you listen to him, you'll know where he's coming from. You know that all officers of the law ain't bad.
But this is the Hoodviewpolitics. We giving you politics from the hood, our view. You know what I'm saying, dog? Right. And we're gonna give you the police officer view too. Right. We'll give you all that. That's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying, dog? And
told y'all
you're a misleader.
We got you.
Or you're a bigot, lover.
Right. A bigot or a lover of bigots.
Black Republican too. You're free to come on in any moment.
Cause I done told y'all.
Any moment
we got an open door policy.
Most
definitely. Me personally, I have taken the doors off the pit. The pit has no doors. So come on in. Come on. Have a seat. Everything.
This is HBP show. Like I said, the doors are open. Name the fact that we are we want to get full view, right? A full from your view as a black person. That's maybe a Republican or maybe in between black person, whatever. We want to get your view on why you think that way. We'll give you our view on why we think our way. And to me, the viewers can decide who is making any fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? That.
Yes, sir. Because that's been our point the whole time. You know, we encourage everybody out there that's listening to get involved. To get involved with candidates, to know the people who are in office, to know the people that represent you, and to know who's making laws and what kind of laws they're making. Because these people affect your lives more than you know, more than you will ever know. So we want the other side. You know, you ain't got to agree with us. You know, you ain't got to agree with nothing we say. And if you disagree, we have a no-door policy. You can drive down here right now. So I pull up a chair for you.
Most definitely.
So, but we want y'all. We want to open your mind. We want to enlighten you. We want y'all to make informed decisions because these things do affect your life. They affect the life of your kids, they affect the life of your family, so on and so forth. You know, so we want to bring it to you, and we're gonna bring it to you in a way that you can understand it. Because we're gonna talk that shit the way we know how to talk that shit.
Let's believe that one.
You know, we're gonna talk the shit y'all used to hear.
Now, like we were saying, we got so much to get into this week, right? You know what I'm saying, dog? But for anybody that haven't been around, right? And when we be screaming like misleaders and stuff, I need everybody to understand where we coming from when we talk about that, right? Because you got a lot of that going on today. And we're gonna get into those people that's doing that.
Black folk rise in America. It's been rough, tough, used like a mule, whipped like animals, sex toys, baby makers, babysitters, raped and passed around state to state like trash, segregation, Jim Crow. Progress over the decades been made with help from all walks of life in this fight. But the wrong message, the wrong role is to say they all the same. I don't vote. It doesn't matter. If you muddy the waters between love and equality, bigotry and hate, you are a misleader.
Like button and subscribe.
Now, right there will tell you what we think about people that mislead Black America. You know what I'm saying? It's not all America that gets misled. It's Black America that gets misled. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, I have another podcast called The Third Perspective, right? And I have a co-host on there, and we get in a lot of debates about Democrat, Republican, you know what I'm saying? Bills here, this bill, what did what, and what was what, right? And most of the people they follow behind are bona fide misleaders because they're living as Black people. They're in positions where whether they like it or not, they're influencing Black people. Some Black people like Candace Owens. She influenced Black women that's in journalism. You feel me? Whether she like that or not. And if she mislead, right? To me, a misleader is somebody misleading somebody into, do I want to say enemy hands?
Yeah.
Mislead you into something that's not in your interest. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So if she, as a Black woman, leads you into a party that won't let you get abortions, where that put you at? You see what I'm saying? Just small stuff like that.
Place. See, it's belief out there, you know, that Black people don't got a mind of their own, and you know that they'll follow anything that sounds good. And this is what white people believe. White people actually, and see, I don't want to come off and sounding, you know, as racist or whatever, but it's true. You know, there are people of the other persuasion, if you will, that think, you know, that people that are not like them are dumb. But, you know, in all actuality, you're not dumb. I would say in a lot of cases, you're misinformed. You're misinformed, you're underinformed, and, you know, they push the wrong thing out there. Now, the one thing I give the Republican Party credit for, and that they're good at pushing their message. They're good at pushing their message so that if you're not informed, you would think that they're right. You would off the break, you know what they're talking about. And in all actuality, a lot of what they're saying is a bunch of bullshit. But that's what we're here for. You know, we're here to inform you and to tell you that you need to inform yourself. Then you won't have to listen like to a person like Candace Owens or a dumbass like Kanye West and so on and so forth. So many people that mislead our brothers and sisters down the road that ain't good for them. And it's you know, you got people out here, you know, you got wolves in sheep clothing, you know what I'm saying? And you got white people in black clothing, and it's fucked up. Put it like that.
Just me, Candace, on after watching her over the years, it's just like, to me, these people are more. Let me get the retired captain in their head.
Yeah.
Lawrence Hunter, what it do, player?
What's going on, brothers? How y'all doing tonight?
How you been, player?
Good.
I'm good. I'm good. Good. Thank you so much for having me back. It's really an honor.
That's what's up, man. So, appreciate you sliding through. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Your thoughts on some of these crucial topics to black people. Now, this is odd to everybody watching. I'm a dope dealer, and this is a retired captain. My man right here just got out.
Yeah, returning.
Okay.
So this is a circle here we looking at. You know.
Okay.
we gonna hit y'all from all sides tonight.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, congratulations on coming home. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
So what I want to do is first I want to get your opinion on Kanye West himself. What do you think about Kanye West?
I think that Kanye is going through some mental health issues. I just kind of leave it there. I don't take anything that this man says seriously. You know, the whole White Lives Matter. I didn't even really look into it all that much. I saw what he's doing. I know that he's going through what he's going through, and I just kind of dismiss it as someone who's that badly needed medication. In all honesty.
So you think this billionaire, right now, you gotta keep in mind he a billionaire, is in need of medication, and nobody around him will make sure he get that as a billionaire? Now, to me, I don't think it's a mental issue here. Now, no, don't get me wrong. He always been off the, you know what I'm saying? He been different, right? But ever since that MAGA move he pulled, nothing surprising. Like, you put the actual hat on your head.
Well,
so the white lives is a lower step to that.
Well, nothing surprised me about Kanye
so?
even before he put on the MAGA hat.
But the MAGA hat, you think that's worse than putting on the white? Which one?
I think the shirt is worse.
You think so? What you think?
Because the shirt is a message coming from a black man. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. If you gonna be a Trump supporter, because there are black Trump supporters, you know, whether you agree with them or not. But we would
love to have any one of you on this program at any
time.
But
when you put on that shirt and you know you desecrating the meaning of what Black Lives Matter stand for, and it isn't like it's just a group that somebody just said Black Lives Matter. The meaning of Black Lives Matter is we are tired of seeing our young brothers and sisters killed in the streets at the hands of corrupt officers, if you will, people of lands, if you will, and people like that, and in many cases without consequence or very little consequence. So what we're saying is our lives matter. Just as if it was a white life that was snuffed. Put it like this: if what happened to George Floyd, if George Floyd was a white man, all hell would have broke loose.
True.
You know,
but it's to me, Kanye West is something different because he grew from the black culture, feel me?
Right.
So again, which like I was saying, Cap, most of these black people don't know they're in positions whether they like it or not. People follow them. You feel me? Like the Kanye West making all these records. Whether he like it or not, black kids will follow him. You know what I'm saying? So to me, once you lead them down a path of a MAGA hat and stuff like that, you just misleading this black child.
Yeah.
And what you think, Cap?
Yeah, to Tony's point there, I actually agree a lot with what he was saying as far as wearing the hat, putting on I'm getting some feedback here. It's so wearing the hat, putting on the shirt. These types of sentiments, White Lives Matter, even Blue Lives Matter, were created directly in opposition to Black Lives Matter. Now, we can have a problem with the organization. Obviously, there's some craziness that's going on with the organization. Millions of dollars have been used to buy property and not going to the victims of police brutality and police killings and things like that. So we can have a problem with the organization. I have no problem with that. But I do have a problem with the sentiment. The sentiment is true that Black lives matter. We have traditionally not mattered. Our lives were, we can go through history of slavery and Jim Crow and lynchings and mass incarceration. Our lives have not mattered up until one could say the 80s or 90s, even maybe in the 2000s. So yes, we needed that sentiment for these two individuals to put this on, their shirts, put these shirts on their bodies, to expose themselves and is ridiculous. And I certainly hope that a great majority of young Black kids are not looking up to this type of behavior and agreeing with it. It's foolishness. And I hope that parents would call it out for what it is.
That's why I call them, particularly Black people, misleaders. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our word on this podcast. We call those type of people. Call them misleaders. You know what I'm saying?
Because
they're misleading the Black culture.
By putting that shirt on, you making a mockery of what it stand for. And even as Captain was saying, even though you had some, I'm gonna use a big word here, you had some malfeasance in the organization, that too made a mockery of what Black Lives stand for. And it's not being a Black Lives Matter, but it's not anti-white, it's not anti-Latino, it's not anti anything. We're just pro Black life. We're just saying our lives matter in the same way that people stand up and you have your pro-lifers, your anti-abortionists who's saying that unborn fetus has a right to life. Well, Black people in the streets have a right to life, and that's all we saying.
My problem with Kanye is he a bigger mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
most people don't know who Candace Owens is, but like if a Black woman get journalist or something, they know who she is. You know
right.
So therefore, she influenced them, and she know that. You know what I'm saying? Like a Black woman growing up in the city right now would not benefit from a Republican Party.
Yeah,
and for her the funny there is silly.
And I get your point there because
me personally feel like that's just crazy.
I get your point there because Kanye is mainstream. Yeah. Kanye is more of a household name than Candace Owens.
Exactly.
Candace Owens walks through, you know who the hell she is. But that's what make his actions more worse, egregious, worse, or whatever, because he has a bigger and a known platform. So everything he does, it comes with an effect, and he seems to either don't realize it or he don't care.
Now, Kanye went on All People Fox for sure.
Oh my!
And Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
I never got a chance. You listened to the interview?
That's all right.
I never heard the interview at all. So I never listened to it. I just want to listen to it now, so I can figure out. I just want to listen to him on the fly. You heard this interview before?
I haven't heard it. No.
So he was on Tucker Carlson after he wore the shirt, explaining why he wore the shirt, and he went into a whole lot of other things, Lizzo, and all types of other stuff. So I want to. We're gonna tap into it. We're gonna listen to it right here, and just we're gonna come back and give our critiques on that joint. We come back, all right, huh?
Yes, sir.
And then you design that.
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life, pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's response to that. I perform for one, and that's God.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet.
All right, hold on. Let's stop right there for a minute.
Yeah, because I got an issue with that.
Let's go with him saying pro-life, right? Remember on one of his album covers, he had a fetus or something.
Yeah.
He had something on there. And that's him saying, that's what he was saying, that he's pro-life, right? So what you think of what he just said, Cap?
I think that again, I'm going to stand by what I said. I think he's going through some kind of mental breakdown. So even for people who are pro-life, I think that's a cop out. It's a weak argument. Yes, I mean whether someone's stance is about abortion is irrelevant. Why put on a shirt for that? I assume that's what he was talking about. The shirt.
Yeah.
One thing has nothing. What does that have to do? What does one thing have to do with another? We can get into Roe versus Wade and that overturning, but I don't think that anything has to do with that. Now,
I'm guessing
this whole life thing. It's just mass confusion that comes out of this man's mouth. It's just.
I'm just thinking Tucker Carlson setting him up, right? Asking the question about this to get into some other stuff.
The whole interview was a softball interview. He was led to a place that was friendly. He wasn't going to challenge him on anything he said, because a lot of what he said was garbage, and a lot of what he said, he was all over in the interview. He was all over the place, just like that comment we just seen. If problem, what does White Lives Matter White Lives Matter shirt has to do with 50% of black death being abortions? If you are pro-life, I don't have it with that. I am pro-life, but I also believe in a woman's right to choose, because that's between her and her maker. But if you are pro-life, right? If you are pro-life, come out and just say, "Look, I'm pro-life. I don't believe it," and you make that an issue. You can make that an issue, and that's your issue. 50% of all death among black people is abortion. You can bring that issue up. As the captain said, what does White Lives Matter have to do with black life?
And first
it
of all,
doesn't.
Where do you even get that stat from? Where do you get that from? 50%.
Yeah, people are making things up, and that I doubt very highly that 50% of all African American death come from abortion. That's just ridiculous.
Right. It ain't making no sense, bro.
Because we know that in the black community, there's a high rate of heart conditions. There's a high rate of high blood pressure. There's a high rate of diabetes, and so on and so on and so forth. For that is something he made up in his warped little mind.
Yeah, he made that up.
When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office, and I liked him. And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager time to my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I like Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. Like, green light me then.
What?
God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because
put off the nigger, put your hand behind.
Born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that He made me for such a time like this. It's like with David. You know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for Goliath to come, he thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is the position, I have my heart. But the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like if you ask like Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or and she was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format. And that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. Like the majority of the
This dude need
I'm confused on what was this. I'm lost on what he asked about the white lives.
I told you it was a softball interview, and he was all over the place. And like Captain say, the dude got mental issues. He's soft in the head, and he just all over the place. If I'm telling you, if he was in an interview where somebody pressed him, he would have ended like R. Kelly.
I don't know.
As a military brat, and his family moved to
Loving the place.
Nice, right?
But what's? I don't think he got mental issues. He been a big fool.
No, I think it's been confirmed that he's suffering from bipolar or whatever. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I've read that, and that's been confirmed. He's talked about it
on medication.
himself. Yeah. So when you get people, listen, I'm not going to make light of people who are dealing with any type of mental bipolar, schizophrenia, or any other mental illness. I just think that he needs to take his medications. And I know that a lot of creative people are very, very suffer from something along those lines, right? Musicians, artists, etc. And so they seek ways to kind of self-medicate in order to regulate themselves. And so, when he's not on this particular medications that he's on, this is what you get. And shame on Fox News for putting this on. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly the talking points that they gave that he's going to give. You mentioned that it was a softball interview, but I guarantee you the questions were come before. He knew what the questions were, and he knows what they're going to say about abortion. Just talk, Fox News right-wing conservative talking points as far as right-wing, as far as abortion. As far as, he's talking about Tanya Harding. Tanya Harding was like the 80s. What is he talking about? It's just
all the practice he did,
media or something.
And for all the practice he did to do the triple flip, they still smashed Nancy Kerrigan's knees. But I just checked it out. Kanye was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016.
Yeah. So he's got these issues. He needs help, and I say that with the most utmost respect for him and for anyone else who's dealing with this. But this is what happens, and shame on Fox News for taking advantage of this. This is not a man who's in his right mind, who's thinking clearly, coherently about what's going on. He never answered the question about why he put on a shirt. It's never answered. Why do this? I don't know. I think there was in the thumbnail we saw where Candace Owens had a response, and she responded. We may be able to get a better coherent response out of her, but we're not getting one out of him.
Well, we're hearing out of her, huh? She know how to spin that thing way better than him.
Yeah, she a pro. She a pro at politics, and Kanye is not a politician, and he don't. And he probably don't know that he's being used and he's being used by these people. You know, they're parading him out there.
I mean,
And
he's been banned from Instagram, Twitter. None of this is his own doing.
yeah.
So it's not nobody else, you know what I'm saying? It's like he acting out. You know what I'm saying? He flailing. He going up against Boosie, all these people.
Yeah.
And he's screaming out, oh, somebody gave him the green light to get me. Okay, green light me then. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? He's like, I'm with Cap on this. He's not, what are you talking about right now?
I told you he was all, look, I seen the thing.
Yeah.
I seen it, when was it? When was the interview? Saturday, Sunday night or something like that. And he was just all over the place. I mean, if he was being interviewed by somebody that threw some tough questions at him and would have pressed him, he would have had a serious meltdown.
Oh no, he started off the whole joint off with, oh, I think they're doing it. Yes, I started liking Trump. Like, what? He started the interview off with that.
Okay. I mean,
so when you start off with that saying, only reason they don't like me because I like Trump.
But he
so you're already on Fox side.
He act like he the first person this has happened to. And which is not, because it happened back in the day. It happened the same thing that people said about him liking Trump, the same thing they said about James Brown when James Brown supported Nixon. And then told black people they should support Nixon because Nixon was going to be their best friend. And they fired James Brown ass up behind it. And it's the same thing that happened to him. What do you think?
What you think, Cap? Before we go to Candace, she had a response on why she did it.
Yeah. Again, I just think that he's in the bad place as far as him liking Trump. I mean, remember when George Bush was president, he came out and said that President Bush doesn't like black people. So, 12 yeyears later, whenever Trump gets in office, then he's falling all over him. Candace Owens the same way. Candace before President Trump won, Candace Owens had put out blogs about that. So Candace Owens is a firebrand, and she's just an opportunist, and she's just going to go where the wind blows and where the money is. She's being paid very well to do what she's doing and to coon and buffoon, and that's exactly what she's being paid to do. And to get her name in the newspaper, continue to stir up controversy, continue to draw light. Negative attention is better than no attention, all that kind of stuff. So you can't take what she's about to say seriously, but she's going to say it.
Political hope.
Coon and buffoon. That I like though. Yeah.
What?
Coon and buffoon.
Cooning and buffooning.
And it's ridiculous. I mean, the whole thing is this. This is me. Whatever position you take is whatever position you take. You know what I'm saying? You're a grown ass person. That's your mind. That's the way you feel. If you want to state your position and you want to put your position out there, we don't have a problem with it. Because put it out there and let people make up their mind. As any sane person would, let it, this is the position we take. This is what we feel. Okay, you could make up your mind. Check out the other side too, and mitigate or whatever. But the stuff that they doing is ignorant, is stupid, and in some ways, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to the cause, and it's dangerous to them.
There at the show,
because you don't know when somebody might walk up and crack one of them side the head over something stupid like that.
This Candace Owens, she came on the same biggest show.
And when he told me what he had in mind and wearing these t-shirts, which by the way, he told me the day of, I instantly understood what he was trying to do and what the artistic expression was. What it offered was a stunning commentary on the hypocrisy of the society that we live in. For years, we were told that Black Lives Matter was not an exclusionary phrase. We were told that it's just what we're saying. We're not trying to leave white people out, right? We're just saying it's because this is a moment that Black Americans need to have in this country. They were totally fine when Asian Lives Matter became a slogan as well. Asians, by the way, are doing better in this country economically than white Americans. They're more successful in education as well. And they're more likely to get credit cards, as just one example. And yet, despite all of that, it was okay to say Asian Lives Matter. We put on a t-shirt to actually do something that was inclusive, to say, actually, white Americans, you are allowed to be a part of this too, because literally all lives matter. You know, I did it because Kanye called me and he said that he needed me to be there at the show and he needed me to be a part of the show. And when he told me what he had in mind and wearing these t-shirts, which, by the way, he told me the day of.
Now you see how she threw in, oh yeah, he told me the day of, which means nothing. You still put them on.
You big dummy. Look,
She tried to articulate that, but that was a mess.
Black Lives Matter.
That was a mess she just did, bro.
And she has to understand, she knows this. She's not stupid. Black Lives Matter was formed out of what was happening to black people at the hands of white people. That is the long and the short of the story.
She going to Asian Americans.
Right.
How they get credit cards.
If it wasn't for white people,
she is tripping.
Killing black people out in the streets with no consequences, no repercussions, nothing happening, you would have never had a Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was formed out of what was happening to young black men at the hands of white people. So that what she said was complete and utter garbage.
I don't even understand when she was talking about the Asian part. She went left with that shit. Like when she was talking
Well, I think what she meant with the Asian things is when President Trump kept calling the COVID-19 virus Kung flu, China virus, and things like that, and many Asians were unfortunately targeted. Now, I had never seen an Asian Lives Matter shirt, but I'm not saying it didn't occur, and I'm not saying that all of us should have stepped up and said, "Hey, listen, this is wrong. Stop targeting Asian people because of what the president is low key, as they would say, doing." So I don't have any problem with that, and I think that Tony's right. That he's definitely right. That the reason that Black Lives Matter is because of the history of this country of African American lives not mattering, whether it's between police, the courts, bad representation in the media. All of these things have pointed to the fact that we had to stand up and say our lives are important. We can look at signs from the 1960s when black men were walking around saying, "I'm a man," right? This is the protest saying I was a man. Why did they have those protests out? Because they were not treated as men. They step off the sidewalk when a white guy was coming, take their hat off, all these different types of things, right? It was embarrassing, and it was taken away from their masculinity and from their manhood. So therefore they had to hold up signs saying they were men. This is the same thing that's going on. Black Lives Matter because historically we have not. So we matter. And so to put this onto white people, again, is a slap in the face. And I started this before. I actually tried to get someone from Blue Lives Matter onto my podcast because I want to talk about that. Why did you guys co-opt Black Lives Matter? Why Blue Lives didn't matter until Black Lives became a slogan, chant, and an organization. Mm-hmm. So where was Blue Lives before that? And the truth of the matter is, the Blue Lives, being police officers, lives have always mattered. People get the death penalty. There's charges for assaulting a police officer, so they've always mattered. So it's co-opting by white lives matters co-opting, and so as well as Blue Lives.
And it's the Republican making talking points. They generate talking points, and that's one of them to muddy up the facts and to give their voters and stuff like that something to latch on. Even if it's false, you know what I'm saying? So it gives them something to debate with. You feel me? Even if it's some trash. Then you got to give them credit on Republicans for giving them something. Yeah. Even though it's trash, it's a lie, it gives them something to be in the cafeteria at work arguing with. Thinking they know what they're talking about, and they all just wrong. It's crazy, bro.
It's crazy. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot and you had black people, black police officers, black whoever, people in the community that were just killing white people and or Latino people or anybody, and it would be, you know, they would say the same thing. Hold on, man, this ain't right. It's not good. You know, our lives matter too, and we're not saying that all lives don't matter, because all lives matter. White lives matter, Latino lives matter, Asian lives matter, and so on and so forth. But you are not seeing the things happen in those other communities, what you are seeing in the black community. And it is systemic. It has gone on for decades. And it seems like when like Captain was saying, when we finally stand up and say, look, this is not good, our lives matter. Now everybody else want to jump on, well, our lives matter too. Okay, if you know all lives matter is what you want us to say. Well, why say Black lives matter? All lives matter. But if all lives matter, stop killing us in the streets. Stop killing these young brothers in the streets. Stop running up into people's houses shooting them. Stop this mess in the court system where a black defendant will get 3-4 times the amount of time that a white defendant will get. You know, stop playing one community against the next. We won't get no service. We won't get no police service in the hood. But if you go to a Georgetown and you go to these upper class neighborhoods, hey, you got a police on every corner.
How does that work, Cap? When y'all in the police office in the department, how does that work? When people call police or whatever, is y'all told to go certain places directly or stay away from certain places, or how that work?
Yes, when people call, we go to where they called. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for every single community around the country, but where I come from, in every community and every officer I know, we went to where the problem was. You called 911, said there was a fight on the corner of Main and South Main. We went there. I mean, we went there and we did.
But you gotta admit that all across America, if I go to a black person in Connecticut, they'd be like, if I call police, they're gonna take me out to get here. All black people got that same problem, right?
What was they're gonna take long to get here?
They take forever, or they're gonna tell you, "Oh man, we call police to be an hour late," or something that shit like that. Yeah, black people have that same issue.
Timeliness is an issue. I'm not going to pretend that timeliness is not an issue, and that's why people think, well, okay, we don't show up. Well, if you call at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and they don't, because of high call volumes, they don't show up till 2 o'clock in the morning. People go to bed. You might think that they have not responded. And it may be possible that they really don't come. If anybody watched Jeffrey Dahmer, that might be an issue. So, but hopefully, I'm not going to speak for all communities across America. I can tell you that because of high call volume, that officers may take a long time to get to certain locations.
So it's not like y'all in the department right now and then people calling from the black neighborhoods and y'all just holding them off to go to white neighborhoods.
No.
And then getting around to that when you get to
it. Generally calls are what we call stacked in priority. So if there's a fight, then we're going to respond to that. If there's a fight with weapons, we're going to respond to that before the regular fight. If there's a shooting, we're going to respond to the shooting before the fight with weapons, etc. And then, unfortunately, what takes a long time is, there's only a certain limited amount of officers. So let's just say there is a shooting or a bad accident or something like that, right? You have to cordon off the areas, right? Or you see all these different police officers standing around the crime scenes, right? Usually they're doing something. They're watching evidence, watching witnesses, looking for evidence, talking to people, securing the scene, and all kind of measures like that. And then if you're on the other side of town, you're calling 911. Well, the police officers are busy. So that becomes a problem. So in a lot of communities where there's a lot of crime, then that's what causes the delay in responses, right? If they're responding to other calls, it takes them a long time to get there. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, police officers our people too, right? We need bathroom breaks. We need to we're state law says we can get a lunch, and all these other measures that go along. So we can't
work just like everybody else.
Yeah. So
All those things.
and a lot of times, listen. A lot of times we just took calls. Sometimes we would not take a lunch and just go from call to call to call to call, just doing the best we can to what we call clear the board to make sure that everybody got some service. Dedicated officers did that. I did that a lot. Didn't take a lunch. And then of course the officers have to have time to write reports, right? If I go to your house on a fight or domestic violence or you lost your wallet or something, I got to write a report, and that takes time. So this is what happens when
the chief of the department make the call on where resources go and where we directing things at. Who do that?
So those things are set essentially by policy, and again, the communications dispatch center would prioritize calls. The more important calls get our attention first.
So basically, out of the department hands on what calls coming to them, right?
Well, that comes from the calls that come in. When the citizens call the police, we prioritize them. But some priorities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Priority 5s are lower down on the list. Right. So a priority 5 call, if there's a priority 2 call, a fight in progress, you were going to send the officers to the fight again before we send them to a larceny of somebody stealing baby formula, for example, right? So that's how it goes. So,
what you gonna say, Joe?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm cool.
I was just curious
because that's I mean. That's just fact, you know what I'm saying? Because if you live in a high crime area, of course you might have a gunfight on one street and a fist fight on another street, and then everybody thinks that their call is important, which it is. Everybody's 911 call is important, but like Captain said, sometimes you gotta prioritize, because if you got some fools out there in the midst of a gunfight, you gotta get that under control before you get 2 boneheads around that's on the other side of town just beating the tar out of each other.
And then you can't have those girlfriends call the police for no reason, trying to chase their boyfriends because they with the other girl.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Use the police for no reason.
Yeah, it happens often. Believe me, it happens often.
Now I don't know if y'all know about LA councilwoman. You heard about this? But she said she resigned today.
Who's this?
LA Councilman Martinez.
Okay, I didn't hear about this one.
They found her audio where her and other councilmen was talking, and she was talking about another councilwoman child, which is black. She kept calling them monkeys, and the child just unruly and all type of stuff. Give me a minute, and I'll take him in the back and whip him, all that type of shit. So it was real racist tones all through the whole audio. It's a whole hour long. I listened to the whole thing and shit. So it was just more of her talking with other Spanish people and white people, right? And when she say the blacks and stuff like that, Spanish people talk like that, where y'all know that a lot.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah. And she was like the blacks this and the blacks that, you know what I'm saying? So it was real racially told. It was, you gotta listen to that joint too. But today she resigned. So
and she should have.
But I want to ask you, I was just about to say though.
Yeah.
But I want to know when people be doing, when stuff leak out, like you wasn't in public talking like that, right? You just talking to people. You're not specking, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's fair to pull that out. And now that's a thing now. Like that person wouldn't say that in front of all people like that. Yeah. You feel me? I don't know. I just don't think you can then make somebody reason. I mean, you got to resign though. This is the result. No choice. Call little boy a monkey, that's the issue.
This is the result of the smartphone era. Because nowadays you cannot say anything to anybody because you don't know who got a camera phone. You don't know who's recording. You don't. It is easy. It is easy to run surveillance on anybody nowadays.
Any meeting you have, somebody can just record just in case later on they
like
that stuff up somewhere.
Watch, I got his ass now.
And she the president too of the council. Yeah. Nori Martinez. She the president. She made some.
That's why a lot of rich, a lot of people with money or whatever, and people without money, a lot of people that's known or whatever. When they have functions at their house or whatever, You checking them cell phones at the door. You got to make a call. We got some landlines for you.
Yeah, they held this thing for a year, so they had to tape for a year before it had been leaked. So, but if you listen to the tape, it's just her basically having a friendly conversation. Talking about a black child as a monkey, as a she was over the top.
Yeah, well, I am glad that she resigned, and I assume that I think to Tony's point, you got to assume that if you're in an environment like that, you're going to be recorded. And it's a sad world, but listen, I'm glad it happens. I don't feel bad about that at all. I think you should watch what you say, and let's get all the racists out. Let's do it. Good. Let's keep recording people. Let's hold people to the fire. And
the only problem I have is like when you somewhere relaxed like that. I don't think that should be used.
No, I think it should be used because that shows. Listen, we should not have people like that who are elected officials behaving that manner. It was the same thing that was going on with a judge. A judge had to resign because she was caught. Her and her kids, or somehow, were looking at a video of someone trying to break into their home, and as she's talking about it, she's watching this. Right, there's a couple of black kids, and she's calling them monkeys and little N-words and this, that, and the other. And so somehow somebody videoed them watching the video, and then when that was released, she ended up resigning. So listen, let's get them all out. Let's keep doing it. I applaud all the people who put a little drink in front of these people, get them a little loose, and let them hang themselves. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Every time when them get caught, they get caught relaxed in their own environment. When the real person is shown.
I'm tired of these people who are pretenders and fakes and phonies and hypocrites telling us, smiling in our faces, telling us that they love us, that they're going to do what we can. And meanwhile, this is what you think about us. This is what you think.
That's true.
So let's get them all out. I have no sympathy for people like that. Good. I'm glad I'm good.
One good thing about Trump, he's not a background bigot. He's an out front bigot. You know where that bigot coming from. Now she's a background bigot. She gonna come out and smile in your face and call you a little monkey and a little N-word and all this behind your back. And them the worst ones. Them the worst ones. Now, you don't know where they coming from.
The senator the child she was talking to, he put out a statement and said, "We are appalled, angry, and absolutely disgusted that Nuri Martinez attacked our son with hard. Well, first of all, the racist slurs and talked about her desire to physically harm her. What she was saying was she wanted to take him in the back. You know how kids be bad. Yeah. Give me him for a minute. I take his monkey ass in the back. This is what she was saying, bro. When he come back, he'd be quiet. You know, that's good stuff. But you know what I'm saying? But main man said his son was 3 years old, first of all. That's just out of the line, period. You know what I'm saying? And this was during a 2017 parade. They was referring to the parade back then, which they was at, and she was telling a story about what happened that day. You know what I'm saying? So he put out a statement saying he wanted her to resign. She already did now, so it doesn't matter.
Now, see, this is the problem I got with that. I'm getting tired of all these resignations too, because you sit there and you'll talk to the person. Well, I'll give you the chance to go out there and you leave on your own terms. Now you ain't leaving on your own terms. I'm firing your ass. Then I'm gonna come out there and tell you why did you fire? She's racist. She made racist comments. She was over the top. She was threatening to beat a kid. I'm gonna run down the whole list. I'm not gonna let you go out there and sugarcoat it. I'm firing your ass. Right then and there. I ain't giving you no benefit of no.
But she is the president of the council, so it is, you can't just she had to resign.
There's somebody over her.
She had to resign for that to work.
So terminations, firings, they take a long time to do. You have to do an investigation. You have to gather witnesses, and that can. I've done that for our internal affairs division, so it takes a long time. So it's better to go to someone and say, "Hey, listen, why don't you go ahead and resign? Because you're going to put us through all this trouble." And if you terminate them and they fight and get their job back, whether they sue or whatever, sue to get their job back, and they get it back, now you owe them back pay and all this kind of stuff. So because she resigns, or when anyone resigns, they can never get that job back. So it's always better when you ask someone to resign because of the lengthy process.
Okay, I can dig that, but
Yeah.
I still fire. I still like to see it.
I don't know. Like you said, well, she couldn't run for anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no,
She might be able to, but this will be out there forever. I mean, but who knows? She might be able to do it. I mean, people have come back and run and won their offices again after being some type of scandal. So it's completely possible. Did I lose you guys? Something happened to the sound. I can't hear you guys.
You gone.
Okay, I got you guys
back.
Yeah.
I'm fining you for moral turpitude.
Basically, yeah. But it was another motherfucking senator that got up in Trump rally the other day and called everybody all black people. First of all, he said all black people want to have crime in the neighborhoods so they can get government assistance. It's the dumbest shit they be saying.
What?
That's exactly what he said. It's like that's the stupid. They say the dumbest stuff just to get people riled up, bro.
Yeah, but see, in that case,
no, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bull.
Are those?
Oh man, y'all hear this on Alabama little?
Who is that? Who is that?
That's Tommy Tuberville.
Oh, let me play it again. Yeah.
That's the coach at where he used to coach.
He used to coach. I'm about to get into that.
He used to coach at
he's
one of the big schools.
senator.
Yeah.
From
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, he was in a rally again with Trump. And I don't know, man. Some of these people that Trump be having with him, bro. It's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, the talking points, the riling up the base, the stoking the fires. That's all they do, man. Is just stirring the pot, man. That's all they do. Is stir the pot.
Top. It's like they living in the centuries of. Well, I don't know. Trump was living in back in the day.
So did he feel this way when he was coaching?
Yes, he did.
All the black players.
Yes.
To their neighborhoods and recruited to come to his college and play for free while he got rich.
That's what they do.
Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bull.
Are those?
Soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bull.
Do y'all understand what he's trying to say there?
The niggers, here's what he's saying. The niggers want your stuff. They like crime. They enjoy crime. They want to take it. They want to get reparations. They want to take your money, take the things that you work for. This is an old Republican trope. Well, not even Republican. I would say right-wing racist trope. They're going to take your stuff. They're going to come out of the woods. They're going to take your stuff. They're going to rape your women. This is what he's saying. It's just more fear mongering, hate mongering. And it's utterly disgusting. So
he really wasn't on the edge. He was all the way on the joint. Just saying.
He was deep in it. He was deep in the bigotry.
Was he? And turned red. Why was that? He feeling good.
Yeah, he coached at Auburn, coached at Mississippi, Texas Tech, and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And see,
And he's actually a coach.
So yeah,
around black people.
So
we probably look back, he probably ain't had no black
as a
people
recruiter, and he had some good teams. So as a recruiter, you know, he went to these black neighborhoods.
I doubt it.
No, he did. He did. Listen, they play the game. This is what I'm saying about the previous politician who had to resign. They play the game. These are the wolves in sheep clothing, right? This is what they are and who they are. So that's why I have no sympathy when they speak up and they make slip ups, whether it's out in the open like Toperville here, or whether it's behind closed doors and people are being secretly recording them. I don't care. This is what they think about us. This is what they think. And all it reveals is what they really, really feel. And when Tommy Tuberville was going to these different neighborhoods to try to get these good players, he was disgusted and all that kind of stuff. He didn't want to be there. And if we would have had a microphone or a smartphone in his car when he was driving with him and the other coaches talking about the neighborhood, talking about the family, talking about all this, we would have been appalled at all that.
He went and sat in many a black living room and got black mothers and fathers to trust him with a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid going to college to play for him. And all the while, this is how he felt.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of colleges. Auburn, Texas Tech, Cincinnati. Yeah. He's 159 and 99 in college, 7-6 in bowls.
See, that's one thing. When you're a college coach and you're a college head coach, you don't push no recruiting off on anybody. Yeah, you might send somebody out to feel out the situation, but in the end, you won't have to sit down and go to these neighborhoods and sit in these houses and sit in these living rooms with these black kids and these black parents, knowing that you feel this way. And you got to pull the wool over their eyes. You got to give them a nice little snow job. You got to I was about to say something. You got to lie your ass off to get these kids to come play for you for free while you get rich.
He also invested in, this was in 2011, he invested $1.9 million in the GL Enterprises. And it later was called, by the Exchange Commission, it was called an $80 million Ponzi scheme. He lost about $150,000 when he closed his business in 2011. And he also got a couple of NASCAR golf joints. He got a lot going on
yeah, because he got paid at Auburn.
Dang, that's a lot. That's why we saying we started this thing off talking about people that mislead people into these type of parties. Like, his vote counts, right?
Yes.
So if you want a George Floyd bill, you think he vote for that?
Hell no.
So why would you, as Candace Owens, mislead black people to vote for these people?
Because
now you see what I'm saying?
Because she don't like her own black skin.
They don't benefit black people at all. Now she run around with a crusade on Black Lives Matter, trying to expose them for their money or some shit. Do you see what I mean about her? Because but you're black. You're supposed to be a black for black people. What do you?
Because Candace Owens is a political prostitute. That's basically what she is.
Oh yeah, that's clear.
That's basically what she is.
What you need and shit.
And it's a damn shame, you know, because if this is what the Republican Party, this is what they stupid at.
So we talking about
if you would come out without the racism, without the bigotry, without stupid people like Herschel Walker,
let's get into
and just say, state your platform, state what you stand for, and then on the other side, the Democratic Party, the Libertarian Party, the Independents, or whoever, state what they stand for and what the platform that you stand for, and let people make up their mind. You wouldn't have this garbage.
So we got Herschel Walker, right?
Oh my God.
He's running it for Senate. For anybody don't know, this dude don't know nothing about any politics issue at all.
Yeah.
He even said some dumb shit like China steal our air if we clean our air over here. China gonna get to steal it. Like, bro, you serious, yeah?
We're going over there.
We're gonna clean our air over here. Then China gonna just steal the air. They ain't gonna do nothing. Like what?
We're going over there. We're gonna steal it clean Back in air.
Also, everybody know you got kids all over the place. They try to keep suppressed. You got one son that's running around here. He's a Republican, but he's gay. How that happens? And then all this time, his son been promoting him for a year now. All on YouTube, all on news channels. All of a sudden, now the baby thing come out. He got videos talking about, oh yeah, he got babies. I don't like him, and all this stuff. Like, bro, I thought he was good for the Senate.
Said last week.
Man, you flip. Man, he the worst motherfucker in the world. He was already the worst person. Then he was lying for the stop. You feel me? Come on, man. We already knew he had all these issues. We already knew he had kids that he wasn't naming. You feel me? We already knew he's beating his wife. We knew this stuff before he ran. He's a Trump-like person where doesn't matter what he's doing as conservatives or whatever you're supposed to be, evangelicals, whatever this is.
Yep.
You say, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes to that. He squeezing on the what Trump do? Squeeze him on the what the fuck? What do he do? Grab him on the tooth or some shit? Close the eyes on that. Grab him by the foot. They close their eyes on that and vote for him. That's their thing now. It's like, get the worst candidate. They don't care. As long as he win, we're gonna close our eyes to the other stuff. You know what I'm saying, dog? And y'all gotta admit, it worked. They got all these judges from Trump. I'm like, man, he overloaded the joint with conservative judges. You know what I'm saying? They overturned Roe v. Wade because he put 2 in the Supreme Court. I mean, bro, they accomplished everything they got by holding their nose with this clown, bro. What you think, Kat?
Yeah, I think that the both parties really weigh heavily and really rely heavily on the fact that the American voter is uninformed. So we have to do is become more informed. Watch shows like this and watch regular news programs, do a little outside research, come out of your bubble. If you tend to always vote Democrat, you need to read some Republican things. If you always read Republican things, read some Democratic things. And let's never forget that there's more parties out there, right? So in surveys and polls, only 30% of the adult population is Republican or Democrat. Like 28% are Republican, right? So that's still only like 60-70%. The rest of the people are independents. So we need a viable third, fourth options, right? The Labor Party, the Libertarian Party, the Green Party. We really need to push these other parties because these two parties are all about moneyed interests. They don't have anything to do with the American people. They just keep stealing our money, giving it to foreign nations, doing a bunch of other crazy things, starting up wars, getting involved in conflicts, not doing anything about the rising gas prices or inflation, being completely hypocritical, as Herschel Walker is talking about family values, and then meanwhile got kids all over the place. Now you stand for abortion, but you wanted somebody else to get it. All this foolishness that goes on. It goes on in both parties. I'm not trying to pick on any party. Completely disappointed with the Democratic Party as well. So that we gotta become more educated in our voting, vote on local levels, and then make sure that we support other individuals and really vote for other individuals who are viable non-options. In the not for this election, but in the previous election, I actually voted for Jill Stein when she was running. I voted for Jill Stein because that was a couple of elections ago for the president, because I just thought that neither one of these individuals were qualified. I thought that this time going around it was Trump or Biden. I can't believe that all those Democratic individuals are up there, but Joe Biden is the one that won the election, won the nomination, and ultimately the election. So it's our political process. They put in lackeys who are going to do what they want, and we got to get more educated, and we got to invest in other solid candidates.
That's my point. My point has always been, I don't care who you vote for. Go do the research. Don't just vote for somebody because they put out a nice, good feeling political ad, or they got out at a campaign rally and made a nice speech or something that you like. Yeah, they can do that, but you gotta check out the background of these people. You gotta see who they stand for. I mean, what they stand for, and what kind of people they're gonna put in office. This is like down in Florida. You turned out that what's the guy name again? The Trump lover. He put in all kind of racists and bigots in the office. Okay, if you know that the candidate is a racist, a bigot, a misogynist, whatever he is, and you put him in the office, what kind of people do you think he's going to put in office too? And people, look, y'all out there, do your research, do your homework. It don't take much.
Yeah. I got a bone to pick with you, Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. Now, when you say the parties are failing, right? That's where the bone come in for me, right?
When I said the parties are what?
You said both parties are failing.
Failing, yes.
It's okay. That's why I come in right there, right? And then you say you need more parties, right? Problem with that is
that won't never happen.
What would that end? What would be too much then? What would be too many? When would it start getting ridiculous? When would it be a cartoon party or elementary party or everybody walking around just making up parties? Well, it will get ridiculous to a point where nothing make any sense. You will have nobody enough money for people to go around the country to run for anything because you got so much money spread around on all these parties.
Well, I think it would come down to whoever's got the best opinions, the best platforms, the best. So I'm not sure. I don't think we need a ton of parties. I think at least one, maybe two more parties. Let's just say.
But like I said, once you get things diluted, it's not so many sides to too many issues, bro. Like it's only one or two sides to every issue. So it can't be so many parties where all parties going to either take that side of the Republican or the Democrat and massage in some kind of way, which was going to make them either conservative light or Republican or Democrat light. You know what I'm saying? So it's not opposed to anything, first of all. Second, that doesn't do anything now because I feel like right now we have two parties. So we got to settle for those, right? So to me, if you look at the agendas of the party, right? When you say both parties are at fault, that's why I started to feel like we disconnect because the party platforms is what we need to concentrate on, right? If the party platform is for equality, gun violence, the cease, you feel me? Immigration, that's the platform of the party. And then one is more of tax cuts and get it on your own. That means something. That's a big difference right there, where it's not the same. So when people say they're the same or there is no difference or they both doing things, it's hard for me to agree with that. If we stop now and look what Biden has done since he's been in office, it's plenty of things that he's doing now that Trump, Bush, none of those Republicans even thought about doing. They're not going to do it. Nothing he's done. So that's why I take heart at when people do that. When they say they're the same or do some stuff where I got a problem with both. Because it's like, what would you have a problem with a party that's trying to get guns out the streets, right? Now, when you say they in there for money, they got to get money some kind of way to get their message out. Do you agree?
I agree with that statement. They got to get money from somewhere. I agree with that
You let
statement.
the Republican Party get all this money for bigots, anti-guns, and you just sit here just giving your message out, you're going to lose every year. No matter how good your message is. They're going to win because they all over the United States with their message. And you stuck in one little spot with no money.
Well, that's
where the money is really important. Now, you can pass the bill to say whatever, but Republicans don't want to do that. It comes down to party again. Democrats want to make it so you can, everything is financially, where you don't have to, people that ain't getting money from donors and stuff like that. They've been putting those bills up. The Republicans been turning them down. Again, the difference in what the parties are trying to do. So I take heed when people be like, they the same or I got a problem with both. Because it's one actually trying to do certain things that help advance people, the climate. You got one party don't give a fuck about it and don't even think it exists, and one trying to do things to do that. So that's what I take part in that, Cap.
Okay, so two things. I don't agree that everything is a black or white issue, this or that issue. And so I think we need to discuss a lot of these things. So I think that So I think a lot of these things we really need to kind of narrow down and really have more discussions. The reason that they continue to say the things that they say is because they work. The reason that Tommy Tuberville said what he said is because they work on a particular individual, and you don't have anyone else to vote for it. So you have to hold your nose. We all have to hold our nose and vote for Joe Biden or vote for President Trump or vote for whoever the next people run for office, because we don't feel as if we have an alternative. So here's how I think it should work. If you take the vast majority of American issues, right? Let's just say there's 10 of them, whether it's climate control, gun control, immigration, abortion. You start naming all these different issues, we come up with 10 of them, right? And where do Americans stand on the vast majority of these issues? Americans stand with climate control. Vast majority, 50, 60, 70%, whatever that number is. Where do they stand on the climate? Again, it's almost the same number. 60, 70% of Americans agree that we got to do something about the climate. Where do they stand on immigration? Again, they almost all of them stay in the same place. All of these things, but why are the politicians not listening? Just the other day in New York City.
Come back. When you say politicians, you gotta let them know what is the problem. You can't just say politicians, because then that says everybody.
It is. Listen, let me be very clear. It is everyone. It is everyone. The Republicans are not going to do anything about immigration, because when they did something in Alabama, and said they kicked out all the immigrants. I think it was Alabama. It might have been Arkansas, one of them states where they were growing peaches or whatever. And then once they kicked out all the immigrants, no one was left to pick the peaches. So they had to rescind all these things. So when the Republicans say, "Oh, we're going to do something about the climate, we're going to do," I'm sorry, about immigration, we're going to do something about it, they're not going to do anything about it, because they know that Americans don't want to do those types of jobs. So they're blowing smoke. This is what I'm saying. It's the same party. So then what's going on now? Just in New York City, now the mayor of New York City is saying all these immigrants that Texas is dropping off in New York City, we can't sustain this. So now New York City, Democratic-led leadership is now getting a feeling of what Texas has been dealing with, the Republicans down there. And so no one's going to do anything about that. No one's going to do anything about our overextended military budget, because
let's stay on. Hold up, immigration, right? The Democrats have put up 3 bills in the last 10 years for immigration.
They know that it's not going to pass.
Who blocked it?
They know that it's not going to pass. Democrats don't want it.
Who blocked it, Cat?
Okay, the Republicans blocked it. Okay. Because neither party is.
See, this is my thing. See how you just did that? But you had to secede that Republicans are the ones that stopped it.
And there are things that Republicans do that Democrats block. There's things. If we had a party that did exactly what the American people wanted, this is my point. If we had a party, whether it's a third party option, let's just say it's the Green Party, where they did everything that American wanted, where we stand on gun control, where we stand on immigration, where we stand on abortion, where we stand. If we took that one party, said this is where I stand on all these different things, because this is where the polling is for the American public. All the issues.
That's probably what
control. That party would.
Whoa. That's never going to exist.
Why? I know
because the one thing that Republicans and Democrats going to always agree on, and it's always going to fight together on, is there will never be a third party.
Why?
Never let it happen.
Why? And that's why they can put up BS slogans. That's why they can say what they want to say.
Happen.
I agree with you. It's not going to happen, but it's something we can make. There are more independents. There are more independents than there are. If everybody voted, let's just say there's 3 parties. If everybody voted, if independents voted for the independent party, Republicans voted for the Republican Party, and Democrats voted for the Democratic Party, you know who would win? The independents. Because there's 40% of the public is independent, 30% are Republicans and 30% are. So who would win that election? It would be that's why we need a third viable option.
Independent. That's nobody. That independent will go with Democrat
No.
values.
When you've gone to vote, when you look at your roster, you see different. You've seen different people. You have. You've seen with people with an I and a G. You've seen different options.
I know that. I know it's an independent, but
that's how Ross Perot.
Because we're brain.
Ross Perot was able to do what he did.
Because we've been brain. I agree with you. That's why Ross Perot and other people, Jill Stein and Ross Perot, that's why they were able to get in. Listen, but that's why I said we had to educate ourselves, and we have to really stop following this line of it's either this or that. It's either abortion or it's not. It's either gun control or it's not. It's either immigration or it's not. It's climate control or it's not. It's more money for the military or not. It's more money for social services or we have to have a more nuanced education, and I agree with you. Listen, numerous parties exist in Canada. Numerous parties exist in England. This is not. I'm not making this. This is not something that is not well known. There are more parties out there that other countries are able to do. This Republican
assisted parties, though, we don't have that here. Government assisted parties, where you can get the money from the government. We don't have that here.
Hillary wanted to do
Only
that.
Democrats been trying to pass that bill.
Hillary.
It's not going to pass because everybody knows that they would lose if everybody. But no one's going to.
The problem is this. You can only donate. As a donor, you can only donate so much, and the federal government can give only so much to each party, each candidate. So it is parity on that point. But where the things come in at is when you got these super PACs. When the super PACs came into play, where you could give them unlimited money from anywhere, and you got these billionaires that they don't donate to the campaign because you can only donate, I think, something like $3,000, somewhere around there. So,
that's not the problem.
So if you can give the campaign $3,000, but you can give unlimited money to a super PAC, that's where the problem came in.
None of that matters. See, my problem is it's not a lot of, like, every issue is not a lot of reason to solve. It's just one thing you can do to fix the issues, bro. Either you do that or you don't. You can't have 1,000 people with different ideas or same thing. It won't work.
But that's what the primary is for.
We're divided on how we solve the problems. Americans, and so you have every person in the Republican Party does not agree 100% with every single platform or every single idea that the Republicans have. They don't agree with that. Some of them are not racist.
It's what they vote for. They vote for that.
They vote because they have to divide their vote. Here's what I mean by that. So again, out of the 10 issues, right? Let's just say that again, there's 10 issues.
Break them down.
And I agree with 6 of them on this. I agree with the abortion. I agree with whatever it is, gun control, financial campaign reform. I agree with 6 of them. These other 4 I don't. But if you had a party that you agreed with 100% on, not because if you had a party that you agreed with because this is where the American public stands at. Where does the American public stand on these issues? Where do we stand on immigration? Where do we stand on pipeline drilling? Where do we stand on these things? If you did a poll of all those things and everybody voted and a candidate said, I'm going to run on these platforms, the other parties would be toast. That's the problem.
So the Democrat right now, if I'm a Democrat, right?
Do you agree with everything the Democrats say?
Like who?
The
platform, yes.
What city do you live in? What city do you live in?
DC.
Okay, you're in DC. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so
it doesn't matter to me. It's the platform that matters. Once you vote that person in, they vote in court.
But you have to look at a number of their platforms, right?
The Republican platform compared to the Democratic platform is the issue.
Right. So the Republic, so you look at the Democratic platform, they're 10 points. You look at the Republican platform, they're 10 points, right?
No, you got to look at what they're looking at. What is their most responsibility? What's their most concern about? And if you look at the platform of the Democrat, it's most concerned about helping people. If you look at the platform of Republican, it's more concerned about you do the fuck you want. I'm gonna get tax cuts to the rich. You make it your way. That's clear. You can't deny those two things.
I actually don't agree with that. I actually don't.
Why you don't agree? Why the Republicans?
Well, I don't think that the Democrats are fully saying that they want to help people. Because if they fully said they wanted to help people, then they would do a lot. They would not vote for the military spending. We spend more on the military than the next 10 countries combined. So if they really want to help people, and both of those parties, Republican and Democrats, vote for military spending.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so now tell me, why would the Democrat bill put up a George Floyd bill? Let's take that for example. How many George Floyd bills Republicans put up?
Well, the main person who put up a Republican bill was the dude from South Carolina, and everybody else voted it down. So a lot of these bills. That's what I'm talking about. The George Floyd bill. Yes.
Accountability on police officers.
Yes, that bill failed. That bill failed.
Wow, who voted against it to make it fail though?
A Republican put it together, and other Republicans voted against it. Hold on.
By saying the Republicans voted against it.
Even Democrats voted. Even Democrats. Some Democrats voted against it because they said it didn't go far enough.
Yeah, it was some. It was some garbage.
It's going to pass if it's up to Democrats. It's going to pass if they use all their votes.
But they didn't. They didn't because they said it didn't
on the Republican side that don't want to do anything.
I know what you're talking about. He's talking about the Tim Scott bill. Now, the Tim Scott bill was some garbage.
Why would you want to do the Tim Scott bill when it didn't do nothing for the cops? And my bad. That's probably why. Because in that bill right there, they didn't put no teeth on cops. The George Floyd bill putting a hammer on the back of their head. It's two different bills. That's
it's the same. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the same bill, the Tim Scott bill, which ultimately failed because neither party stood behind it. Some said it went too far, some said it didn't go enough. And the problem,
it didn't do nothing to police officers.
Right.
It didn't give them accountability.
Well, I'm talking about the system that really isn't trying to make any changes. I'm talking about the system that isn't. I'm talking about the system that isn't trying to make any changes. This is what I'm saying. So we keep saying that these people want to do something. How long are we going to talk about shootings in schools? No one's going to do anything about it. You know why?
How many bills did Republicans who voted against the bills to stop some of these guns in the streets?
You know why they're not going to do anything about it? Because both parties make money. Both parties make money when people kill each other.
Look, hold on. This is the problem.
Both parties again, when they put up the bill to take the guns out of the streets, the Republicans blocked it. And he says them again.
Look,
all these bills that the Republicans vote against is still everybody again.
Look,
how's that even possible?
I'm about to tell you what the problem is.
Immigration, the climate. Democrats have put up numerous bills that have been blocked by Republicans, bruh.
This is the problem.
What else can you care about other than the climate? What else can you care about other than guns in the streets, black people killing each other? What else can you care about?
Hold up.
Explain this to me, yo.
Look, until we, as the people, as the voters, as the people who put these people in office, hold these people feet to the fire, ain't none of this gonna happen because they're gonna keep on. Because they're gonna keep on keeping on. Because look, if you vote somebody in, you got, especially on the local level. Well, all politics is local except for the president. But if you in a place where you know you are safe, that you know you got your voters. And you know, certain people, certain people's not gonna come out to vote, especially in an off-year election like this year. That you know, you safe. I got this. I can do what I want. I can tell them what they want to hear, and I know my people gonna vote for me. But until you get to the point where they get out there and make these promises, and 4 years later you ain't did nothing, vote their ass out. When they start getting voted out and losing jobs, that's when they're gonna start doing what they promise and doing what the people want.
They're not go- and I agree with you, but the problem is I'm trying to articulate is that they're not going to do anything because as long as they're a Republican, they don't have to, because they know even though I said I'm going to do this, and because my platform says that, I don't have to follow through with those promises. Because I got this R by my name, and I'm saying that about Democrats too. I don't differentiate between them. They make these promises, they run in these platforms, they don't have to do them, but we know that we're going to vote them in because we have this mindset that this is where they stand for. The Republican Party is the party of law and order, so I'm always going to vote for law and order. And they're the party of free enterprise. We're going to make as much money as we can, and that's what I want to do. I'm a businessman. I'm going to vote for this party.
All right.
And so the Democrats are going to do this, so they don't have to do that, and so they'll never get voted out of office. There's been surveys that said Congress's approval rating is at 6%. Yeah, 6%. But we keep voting these same people in, no matter what Tommy Tuberville says. People will vote him in. They're going to vote him in.
Yeah, because
we need a viable third party option who agrees with the American public to do what they're going to do.
The problem with Congress and the Senate is this. This is me,
bro.
They have a national. Congressmen and senators have a national platform, but they are voted in locally. So they know who their voters are. They know who to get to the polls. And Tommy Tuberville can say what he said, and he knows what he's speaking. He knows exactly who he's speaking to. He can speak whatever he wants. He can say exactly what he said, and the rest of the country can be pissed off. They can be appalled. They can be disgusted. They can get to like it. But the handful of people that he needs in his state, in his wherever his state, wherever he needed to be to get to the polls and vote, that's who he's speaking to. And then to the people in that state, and then to the people in that, the other people, the black people, the Latino people, the other people, or even the white people that's disgusted by the things that he say, get out to the polls and vote his ass out. It's not going to change. He's going to be right back in there again. He knows who he's speaking to. He knows I got X amount of votes. I got X amount of support. I got support from these people who are gonna bring their cousins, their friends, their grandmothers, or whoever. They're gonna get them to the polls, and I'm gonna get elected again. But unless the other side, and it could be Democrats, it could be independents, it could be the Green Party that step up and say, hell no, we got to get him out of there. It's not gonna happen,
bro. To me, it comes down. Hold up, let's put it on. It comes down to the platform to me, bro. Like, you can't tell me a Republican care about poverty. Can you tell me that?
I don't think that either party cares about poverty. I don't think that.
See, again, when people do that, that tells me the people they like doesn't do it, so they got to bring the other people with them. Like,
no,
Democrats don't care about poverty, bro. Like, what are we talking about right now?
What makes you think that because they pass? Listen, because they pass food stamp reforms and all these different. That to me is not caring about poverty. It's not caring about poverty. If you want to care about poverty, then you have to empower people to get jobs. They'll bring jobs back in. They will stop the jobs from the factories from going overseas. That's how you care about the reason that Detroit and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and even my own home city, Waterbury, all these factories left and people are left without anything is because politicians won't do what they said. Even Trump, when he went into office, said, I'm going to tax all these companies that went to China. Did he do any of that? No, he didn't. So neither one of these parties, they say that they do, and they want to take from you and me. They'll take our tax money and then they'll give it to food stamps and other programs and stuff. If they really want to get people out of poverty, and this is something that Republicans also say is that we got to give people the chance to stand on their own feet. So whether you agree with that philosophy or not, but that's what I'm saying. Neither one of them cares about poverty. They care about you being in poverty, because if you're in poverty, then that means that you're going to depend on them for food stamps and whatever else, and that they will secure your votes. That's why they don't care. That's why I'm saying that they don't care. If they really cared about you being in poverty, then they would create programs to get you out of poverty. They would do something to make sure that you had an ability to make a living. That's the best way to get them out. You can't get people out of poverty by giving them money. You're not going to get anybody out of poverty by giving them money. You're not going to do that.
All right. All right. You say you can't get them out of poverty by giving them money. That's cool. We all know that. In fact, food stamps can't get you out of poverty, right? At all. But the point of it is to help you get by as you living in poverty, as you living in circumstances where you can't.
Since the 1960s, what has that done? What has that done? Has anybody gotten any better from that?
No. That's not the point of it, though. Hold on. That's not the point of it, though.
You got one party saying one thing.
Hold on. That's not a point of the programs. It's not a point of it to get you anywhere. It's to make sure you don't go to the bottom. That's it. Now, if you got Republicans don't give a fuck about the bottom, there's a lot of people hitting the concrete out there. Now, 4 years ago, I had to go to the shelter. I lived in the shelter for a year 4 years ago, bro. That same fucking program I was on, Republicans wanted to vote that out. It ain't no one. And food stamps, I was on food stamps. I needed all that. We wasn't going to eat. It was that fucking simple. And I used their programs to get out of the poverty, which they got me out of, which was a shelter, to a rat-infested apartment, to a townhouse, to now my own house. So that program did get me out of poverty. Literally. So if the program is not there, that's nothing. I go to getting guns to robbing people. When it comes to eating, you have to eat, bro. You have to have a roof over your head. Those two things have to happen. And if you don't have no income to make those things happen, guess what's going to happen?
I mean, I know what's going to happen.
Guess what happens? So you need an alternative. If the government don't give you an alternative where your taxpayers' money go, you need an alternative to say, okay, I'm not going to resort to illegal anything. I just go to a shelter or I take this program that they're giving me. You feel me? Up to Republicans, that's not there. So to me, that's a small thing, but that goes into who they are as a party, bro. Those type of programs are not going to exist without Democrats pushing those. All of them, everything we have right now. Okay. Social Security, that's a Democrat thing.
It's a difference.
You care about
between
people.
the parties,
but if you don't care about people, these are not on your mind.
Yeah, it's a big difference between the parties and the type of things that they pushing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Democrats.
And that's pulling up. That was me pulling myself up by my bootstraps.
Democrats push more social programs. That's without a doubt. Ain't nobody, you ain't even got to argue that. And Republicans more or less are saying, you know,
do it yourself.
Get out there and basically do it yourself. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But you know what I'm saying? It's still you know, somewhere in the middle.
It's not hard. This is not.
It's not hard,
science, bro. Republicans don't care.
Yeah,
and you might find one Republican out of thousands that care about something, but they don't matter because the platform does this.
You probably find some that care, but
they're not gonna do anything about it.
But you, as a politician, if you want to keep your job, this is what I always say. This is me. If you, as a politician, and you want to keep your job, you're gonna cater to what your constituency wants. And if your constituency doesn't want the programs and doesn't want
that's
you to,
that's the problem we have. You've been saying that from the beginning.
Right.
The white culture,
if they don't want it,
for Republicans, if you need those programs worse than we do.
Right.
So it ain't just us.
I've been saying programs, I always been saying that poor whites poor whites have voted against their interests for the longest time.
So it ain't just us using those programs to pull our bootstraps up. Look, it's their voters
First of all, if you did the research, you would know that there are more white people on welfare and there are more white people on food stamps than black people.
And then black people than anything.
If you did the research, you would know this. Exactly. But they got the cake. Look.
But they when they tell you when they
tell you that all politics are local, yes, all of these people, Pelosi, McCarthy, all of them have a national platform. But the problem is they have to go back to their constituency, to their hometown, and get their votes. Or if not, they're gonna be out of a job. And that's where all the shit come in, because until we as voters hold the people to the fire, and we know who's holding up shit in Congress, vote them out. If they not voting for your interests and they not representing your interests, you got to get them out. And so many people feel, well, my vote don't count. I ain't getting up there and wasting my time going down there and vote for what? They're gonna do what they want to do anyway, because they know, boom, at the very least, just like in DC, where we at, we already know no Republican can never win in DC, because you got 4 corridors. You got Northwest, Southwest, Northeast, and Southeast. We know that the only part of DC that's gonna vote anywhere close to Republican is upper Northwest. That's up in Georgetown. The rest of the city is, boom, Democratic. So that means all Muriel Bowser got to do is get her Democratic base out there, and no matter who they put against her, boom, she's in there. And so she can basically get in there and tell the people what they want to hear. But what have you got in the years that she's been in office except gentrification? But she knows who her base is and who to cater to keep getting back in office. And what you're gonna keep getting? Gentrification. And she knows this. So until the people hold her feet to the fire and say, hold on, you building all this stuff that we as poor blacks, we can't afford. You pushing us out the city to bring in rich white people or white people with money. Now we're gonna vote your ass out and get somebody in here that's doing what we need to get done. Until they do that, she gonna tell you what you want to hear, and what you're gonna get: gentrification. And that's in every locality.
Cap, let me let you finish. Cap this one off. Cap that joint off, but I just want to point out that when you look at the parties, your most important thing is to look at their platform. So, like he just said, he liked the fact that they enterprise or free enterprise and what else is it? Government, less
government tax cuts and all that.
Yeah. So that what you're getting from Republican Party. You know you're gonna get the tax cut. You know these things are gonna happen, right? Yeah. So when they get them to social issues, human issues, tabletop, when you get in your kitchen talking, like what is the next bill? When it comes to those things, there's no way you can look at a person in right mind and tell them the Republican Party is going to take care of all those type of issues. They're not in it for that. They're going to tell you do that on your own. Can we agree on that? That's an on your own thing for the Republicans. So this comes down to where would you like to be as an American?
Look, this is the thing about
as America, right? Do you want to be in America where you let the people just hit the streets with no chance of getting out of poverty and moving out of the poverty into anything else without a program from the government that's coming from everybody tax?
Look, this is the thing about Republicans. And
hold on. Go ahead.
They're gonna tell you, boom, yeah, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you on your own. Now, I don't know if I'm word this right, but Democrats is it feel the same way. Yeah, you can get out there, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you can do it on your own. But we know that there are people out there that need a little help, that need a little push. Republicans not gonna give you that push. They're gonna say, fuck it, you get out there, you find a job and you do it. And well, we'll say, well, it ain't no jobs out there. Okay. But then the Democrats or Joe Biden would come back and say, well, okay, if it's not no jobs out there, but I tell you what, we're going to create jobs. We need to fix our roads. We need to fix our bridges. We need to fix the electrical grid or whatever. Okay, that'll create jobs. Which will put money back in the tax coffers. Well, then the Republicans will say, well, yeah, that's a good idea because you're gonna put people to work and you're gonna get tax money, but okay, that costs too much. Okay.
But the only problem I have, bruh, is the Republicans with the law and order thing, right? Let's take that for example. Most of the time, most of the high crimes was under Republicans. If we go on them in the army and the military part, most of the disasters was under them. Like you go down the line, you want to talk about money? Oh, they good with money? Hell no. Anytime they in power, it's a collapse in the economy. Not only that, we in depressions and all types of stuff.
Right. Because
like
when they get
where's we missing the point that Republicans don't do none of that? They supposed to be law and order and supposed to be all this stuff that they don't do. 9/11 was hit on where? Bush was Republican.
Because
I mean, this is they supposed to be law and order. They supposed to be the army.
You know why?
So therefore, these things shouldn't happen.
Because you know
who passed the bill that turned everything around in crime? Who passed that bill? That was a Democrat.
Correct.
The bill that got Hunter as a cop and got me in the system here and there. You feel me? That 90s crime bill that was passed by a Democrat. So again, law and order was done by the Democrats again. We don't see the law and order from Republicans other than putting many people in jail as you possibly can.
Because
that's not law and order.
Because anybody that knows politics knows this. That when the election ends, the next election begins. So you got to keep them voters that put you in there. If they pissed off in your state about whatever, you got to cater to these people to put you back in office if you want to keep your job.
Yeah, this is so much more nuanced than we can kind of lay out here. There is no simple solution to this, and I understand your story there about you got to eat today, and I get that. And I do think that a lot of Republican resistance to social bills is because of racism, because they think that all black people that just are lazy, we don't want to work, and all this kind of stuff. So it takes good, solid people like you to find a determination to fight your way out of the circumstances. My mother, too, was raising two young black boys, and she needed some assistance as well. So I'm not saying that people don't need assistance, and I'm not saying that these programs aren't important. But I am saying that when it comes to both of them doing something, they're not doing enough. And I think that that's intentional, that they're not doing enough. Giving us programs without giving us jobs, has a consequence. So it's far more nuanced than that. And one thing, as Tony said, one thing starts under another and completes under another, right? So the crime that goes on under Democrats gets reversed, and then the Republicans take credit for it, right? 9/11 gets bombed under George Bush, but the truth of the matter is that all that started when Clinton was in office.
But we can't name none time that somebody was attacked when a Democrat was in office, bro.
1993
didn't collapse under a Democrat ever.
1993 wasn't Bill Clinton president in 93, and that's when the first World Tower was bombed. The first time it was bombed.
Yeah. 9/11 was an issue. Way
And then,
more efficient than that right there.
but there was a few terror attacks under Clinton, and that's why they became emboldened not to do anything. Right? There was a bombing of a Navy ship in Yemen. There was a few. Yeah, the USS Cole. There was a few bombings, and that's what emboldened them. Said these Americans aren't going to do anything. So I don't think we get anywhere by saying one place or one party does something that corrects the mistakes of another one, right? So the bubble that we're living in now under Biden with this whole thing started because don't forget there was a lot of tax cuts going on. It started with these tax cuts that he did, right?
Who did it?
That Trump did.
Trump did.
Trump a Republican, ain't he?
And he cut all the taxes. All the rich people continue to get richer, and who's getting poorer? How have you gotten gas lately? Have you bought food lately? Started with inflation.
That started in the last administration.
One thing. Who be cutting taxes all the time? Who does that?
The Republicans. But we're still here, and the policies aren't changed. I'm saying that policies goes both ways. I'm saying that one thing that one party does affects the other. I have no allegiance to the Republican Party. I have no allegiance to the Democratic Party.
That right there is what all y'all always say. But y'all defend the Republican Party, but then once you can't defend them, it's I don't have at least either one of them. I don't like either one. You know what I'm saying? Like no. Like I don't know where y'all at with that right there. That was lunches me.
Because I don't have to stand with anyone because I'm for the American people and I'm for living a good life. And when they mess up, I'm going to say they mess up. When they're hypocrites.
Be in power. Do we agree?
Because I don't buy it again. I don't buy into that we have to have two-party system. It's either
right now we only have two. Somebody got to be in power though, right?
I mean.
Right? Somebody is in power, but it doesn't have to be the people who are the people who are in power because of the American people don't do their research and they don't vote right. What are the voting turnouts? 25%, 30%. Those are terrible. Out of 100 people who are eligible to vote, 30 of them go to vote.
Of the United States, he was vice president to the first black president, bro. He's a senator for 40 years. He more than qualified. Jill Stein, on the other hand, hell the fuck no ain't qualified to do anything.
Listen,
my accomplishment. You voted for her to be president, though.
I did. I did vote for her because I was disgusted with the other individuals.
When she became president, she ill-equipped. Think about she worse than Bush.
Was Trump equipped?
Hell no. That's my point. Why you make it where you get that? When you got somebody that's qualified
because I look at the state of what is and I say we can do a better job. And when the people who put forth platforms tell me that this is the best we can do, I know that they are lying and pandering to a base and pandering number one to a base and number one to their supporters, to Wall Street. We still haven't heard President Hillary Clinton's speech to the stock market individuals. That speech never came out, right? We still haven't seen Trump's tax records, right? So these people are
why do you need to hear that speech, bro?
Because who's running America? This is why it's important. Who's running America? It's Wall Street is more running America. Think about in 2008, these people nearly collapsed. These people, because of their financial wheelings and dealings, collapsed the economy of the world.
Because of what George Bush gave them.
Yeah, there we go again.
The world. That is a problem. And these people and the same thing. And what did the Trumps do when they got back in office? They rolled back everything they did so these people could do it again.
I was about to say that too, because one of the problems is this: is you do got a lot of back and forth in politics. Like Republicans will do one thing, and then Democrats will come in and undo it. Okay, next administration might be a Republican administration.
I agree with that.
They'll come back. They'll come right back and undo what the Democrats did.
Let me give you an example. Trump reinstated 3 strike rule. Why would that even be there? So guess what? Of course you want him to get rid of that shit.
I don't think he
reinstated the 3 strike law.
Yeah,
that was that was aimed at
black people.
At minorities.
Yeah, we know that.
That was just straight aimed at minorities.
So of course you gonna want Biden to reverse that ASAP or somebody.
Right. But it's like this.
So when you say somebody do this and somebody do that, you need something to what you want them to do.
It's not either. To me, it's not either or. It's not black or white. There's a better way to do everything that we can do, and we are stuck with these two individuals who are beholden to the stock market gurus, to beholden to making money. That's number one. To beholden to Wall Street, and number two, they're beholden to their base. As Tony said, they're gonna vote, and then they're gonna say the things. They're gonna say racist things, throw little things out. Look at the governor of Florida who said what he said about that dude Andrew Gillum when they were running for president, when he was running for governor. Don't monkey this up. Saying little things to get in office. I have a problem with all of that kind of stuff. But there's a better way to do everything we have. And the only reason we aren't getting any further along is because we don't take another option. We're stuck with these two. We could do a much better job. Multiple parties work in Canada. There's more than one party in Canada. There's more than two parties. There's more parties in England.
You're the president of the party right now. What would this party do that's just so different?
Which one? I mean,
your party. You got the party right now. You the third party.
I would follow the science. I would follow the science about climate change.
Democrats already doing that. Next one.
I would follow the science and the opinions of the people about gun reform.
Democrats doing that. Next.
I would follow the science as far as I would take a serious hard look at immigration, see what we need to do.
Next one.
I don't think neither one of those parties do anything about immigration.
Can you say it with a straight face though?
They're not. I'm saying with straight.
No those things you just said.
What are Democrats doing about immigration?
They passed 2 bills that Republicans.
Well, first of all, it depends on where you stand on immigration. I don't particularly.
Pass a bill first, then argue about something.
I don't think that we need anything. I don't think we need immigration to the extent that we have it anymore. I don't think you and I got to take out a loan to go to college or whatever. These people are getting free college. That's crazy.
Correct.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Correct. Many Black Americans are out of jobs because of being undercut by immigrants.
Don't believe
correct.
That. I don't believe that.
No, it's absolutely true.
You can't name one job they doing that you can do if you wanted to.
No,
first of
it's
all,
not being.
It's not if I want to. It's not if I want to.
It's not being. They're not being undercut by ability or to want to do the job. It's the fact that they're coming over here and they're doing this. We know what the job is worth. Mm-hmm. If we know that the job is worth $20 an hour, they'll come over here and do it for 10.
We're not gonna do that. That's said they taking jobs from us.
That's exactly what
they're undercutting. They're undercutting the wages. That's how they're taking the job.
That's what I'm talking about.
Immigrants are coming over here and undercutting can do anything with their wages because they got immigrants there. That's not even fair. First of all, they got to be there legally, and then you can't suppress the wages just because they there.
Right?
You're not making no.
Under the table.
You know how many times I work with legal immigrants? They ain't do nothing to my pay, bro. Huh? You work with plenty of them. They ain't do shit to your pay, bro.
Yes, they do.
There's plenty of them in there. What are you talking about?
Yes,
I negotiated contracts in unions, bro. Hold on, stop a minute. Hold on. I was in a union. I was a union rep. I negotiated contracts. But none of them had nothing to do with nothing we negotiated.
They're not gonna go there because before you was in the union, they did offer us a contract, and we was already set to strike because we wanted more money, and we knew what the job entailed, and we knew that we should have got more money. When it got to the point that we was gonna walk out and strike, it was the Spanish people who voted against the strike. They wanted more money, but they didn't want to strike.
You only struck one time. I struck. Huh? I was the only one that struck in that.
Now this before you was in the union.
They ain't had no union then.
You was when?
They ain't had no union when.
Oh yes, we had a union.
There's only one union there, and we struck one time, bro.
Huh? I don't even remember the
strike. Yes. And I'm telling you now, when I'm sitting there negotiating these contracts, bro, The fact that we had illegal immigrants in there had nothing to do with it, bro.
This was
nothing at all.
This was Mike and them was in the union. When Mike and them was in, we was all set to strike.
None of that matters, y'all. Just because they here has nothing to do with your pay, huh? And you know it. You worked in these plants where we was getting paid.
It had nothing to do with it. It is places out here.
Where?
Places out here with immigrants.
I don't believe that's a Republican talking point, bro.
It's not.
There's nowhere out here that you talking about you can't go. That somebody just went and getting underpaid. Where you gonna work with? Where's that at?
Come on, you gotta check that one out. That is a known. That is a known fact.
Where this at? Where this one? Give me one example. Where this working at? Where you working at? Where this happens at?
Come on, man. In the farming industry, it's one.
Again. What do you mean?
In the farming industry, you can look at the fruit pickers.
So you sign up
people for so many years.
Pick fruit, huh? You sign up to pick fruit, right?
Yeah.
They taking that job from you?
What?
Picking fruit or cotton?
Man, if the job pays 15 and they come in and do it for 9. Who you think they're gonna hire?
They're not gonna do it bro. They can't change the wages, bro.
Bullshit.
They can if they're illegal. If they're illegal, they don't have working papers. They change it.
They can pay them under the table.
What the
or they could just pay them minimum wage. That don't mean
that's illegal. That's not. What the fuck do you mean, bro?
It's not illegal because if it's a minimum wage, they say we got to pay you this much.
If they
say they illegally, we got to pay you this much. And if they say we'll work for minimum wage, you don't have to pay them more.
What you mean? They have no obligation to tell nobody nothing, first of all. That's the first thing. If they illegal, all this shit is illegal.
What's the federal?
They're not supposed to be working, bro.
What's the federal minimum
If they legal, they got a right to have a job just like you. So I need y'all to point out and tell me where the hell is that?
Come on. Man, you know damn well that
what?
That Spanish,
where's a legal person taking a job from
America? They're undercutting wages for the longest time.
Help me out. Where is it illegal people taking jobs from Americans at?
We've tried to explain.
I didn't even name it. They're doing it in the farming industry for the longest time. They've been doing it in the fruit industry, but that's the produce industry. Especially if
it don't exist.
In the produce industry,
that don't exist.
All right,
they don't take no jobs from nobody, bro. They literally don't.
You have to
bold-faced Republican ass lie.
It's not a lie.
It's no way in the hell of somebody to walk over here and take a job from you, bro.
We're not saying
it can't happen. You must can't do it. You don't know how to do it.
They are doing. We're saying what I'm telling you. What they are doing. They are not taking a job. They are undercutting the wages.
They can't. They're not doing that.
If I come on
Amazon right now, you're making $20 an hour, bro. Walking in.
Listen.
We're not talking about big companies by
where we at? Tell me then.
Rabbit.
I'm gonna look them up right now and pull them up. Give me the industry that's hiring people that's illegal, first of all, and letting them undercut the wages. Tell me where that's at.
We are Rabbit. I'm trying to.
Give me generals. Go ahead.
We're trying to explain to you that if I'm an employer. You are an illegal immigrant. And Tony is a natural worker. Tony, because of the type of work, is demanding $20 an hour. But you're coming in and saying, I'm going to do it for $10 an hour. Who am I going to hire?
That don't exist.
Yes, it does. You can go right down to the Home Depot and see that.
Bro,
you can go right down to the Home Depot and you will see, see, especially if you go up in Hyattsville, you go up in Langley Park, you go up in Riverdale. You will see at certain places, you will see people lined up in the morning and people will roll up and say, I want you, and you. How much you want for the day? They might say, I want $50. They'll put a damn roof on for $50.
Right. So now you misconstrued stuff. That shit right there, some shit you can go pull up and pull them in your truck, bro. We talking about motherfucking job that you
still undercutting. That's still undercutting.
Who the hell that undercut?
It's undercutting actual labor. Experienced roofer. It's construction workers.
First of all, if somebody was going to do that, that's what they going to do. Anybody that goes to a fucking Home Depot and pick up somebody, that's what they going to do regardless, bro.
But they wouldn't be able to do it if they weren't here.
If they wasn't there, For them to do it, they wouldn't be able to do it. They would have to hire the right people.
That person exists regardless. Mechanics walk around your street every day. It's people that know how to do that stuff regardless, bro. You can never stop that. People know how to do stuff. People got trades.
And what they undercutting the people?
So you can't do nothing about that. There's gonna be always somebody stand outside that got a trade, bro. That ain't undercutting no fucking body. Man, they got a trade. They not do something.
Well, these people be coming out here for years.
That job ain't got nothing to do with no contractor. The hell y'all talking about, bro?
Come on, man. Come on, you know better.
Man, y'all tripping now. Y'all think somebody standing at Home Depot is fucking somebody a contractor joint up somewhere. Y'all tripping, bro.
How is it not? If I don't have to, if you're in charge, if you're in charge, me.
Let me ask you something. Are you going to these same places?
Okay, put it like this.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you one question. One question. One question first. We said that.
Do you think?
Are you going to these same two places as an individual? Do you go to Home Depot looking for somebody to fix your shit, or you looking for contract? Is this the same person looking at these same two people, bro? Fuck no. The person with that depot was going there regardless. That's what they going there for because they didn't afford nothing else. What do you mean?
And how did they know that you couldn't afford nothing?
Just like I'm a barber, bro. I know it's plenty of barbers walking out here right now with no license and cutting hair. They got to do with me. They got a skill.
Okay.
What the fuck they got to do with me?
Right.
They're not undercutting me.
If they went out here,
they are actually undercutting.
They're not undercutting me, bro. They don't harm me.
If they wasn't cutting on the side, who they got to come to? Who they come?
If they weren't cutting on the side, they would all have to go to you. They would have to go to you or other barbers. Bruh, they are doing the fact that other people are doing this illegally is undercutting you. The people when people don't have licenses, they don't have all this permits and all this stuff. Bruh. They can't get it from the people who've done it the right way, and that is the problem.
That has nothing to do with me.
It's you and
cut hair. That would not affect me, not one bit, not even a little bit, bro.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
If you got somebody, a foreigner come over here and affect a pay, first of all, they're not affecting no pay that's on the books. First of all, if they legal, they have the right to get the same pay you getting, bro. Whether you think that or not, just because they foreign and came over here. Let's get this separate first.
First of all,
let's get this separate.
Don't nobody have
legal and illegal is two different things.
Look,
if they legal,
first of all,
they need to get jobs just like you.
First of all, there's a
minimum wage. Do we agree on that?
There's a federal minimum wage. What?
If they're legal, they got the right for any job that you got, right?
They got the right for any job I got.
So any illegal person don't work.
The problem is this.
They can't get jobs.
This
That's illegal.
is the problem. This is what we're trying to explain to you. This is the problem. What is the federal minimum wage?
It's up to 10 now.
Okay, so that means they're obligated to pay you no less than $10. That's all. They can say, we got to pay you 10. All we got to do is pay you $10. You don't like it? Kick rocks. Now, if the job been paying, or if the employer will offer, you say, well, they put on your application. You say, well, what pay rate are you seeking? Okay, I'm seeking 10. It's job pay 10. I'm seeking 17 an hour. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Okay, he might consider that. But then you got somebody that'll come in and say, okay, they want 10 they want 15, 20 an hour. Fuck that. I ain't been making but $1 a day back home. So $10 an hour is a come up for me. Okay, so fuck it. I'll take 12.
Okay.
How's that not undercutting you?
It's not. That's the choice of the food that chose the person with less experience.
Okay.
That's your choice. Okay. You chose the person with no experience. This person asked for money because they've been to school. They've been trained. They know how to do shit. You need to pay for that, bro. If you want to pay for this food, then you do that. That's not undercutting him. He gonna get his job. Okay. What do you mean?
What? If everybody doing it, you're not getting no job.
That's not realistic.
That is realistic.
Everybody doing that?
There's so many people out here that got skills, that them work, they got the experience, they got the work experience, they went to school, they done learn how to do this. That
Yeah, you need to get paid for that, bro.
Right, you should
All
get
right.
paid.
So
for
did that Bama, you choose the Bama that come over here and don't know what they doing, don't have no credentials. That's your choice.
That you done work
hard
hard to make. You done work hard to make $25 an hour, but somebody, you probably even had a job. Probably dude was gonna get a job. Damn, he good. He experienced. He'll work and this, that, and the third. I like his job. I like what he do. But then he come in and just say, "Oh, he want 25. Fuck it. Give me 15."
Hey, that's your choice, bro. If you want to choose a motherfucker with less experience, that's your choice. That's not undercutting me.
That is his choice.
What do you mean?
But still, he just aced you out of a job.
I moved the fuck on to somebody gonna pay me what I'm worth.
Oh,
he worth that. I'm not.
And the next mofo do the same shit.
I'm not worth that, bro. I'm gonna need what I'm worth. Huh? He can take what he worth. He worth $9. He can take that.
You don't get what you.
That's not undercutting me.
Yes, it is.
What?
Yes, it is. It is undercut because in the long run, the wages come down.
You think ain't nobody working no cars right now? They don't have no shop. They ain't got no license, no nothing. You think ain't nobody making money doing that, bro? You think they undercutting mechanics? No.
Because the real mechanics ain't getting what they should be getting.
Bro, people gonna do things.
Okay.
You're gonna do it regardless, bro, because you know how to do it. You got skills to do it. You're gonna do it. If somebody pay you to do that shit and you ain't get your license, your credentials yet, that's on them.
Okay.
Now you come in illegal and somebody hold on, bro. Now if you come in illegal and somebody pay you to do something, that's on them.
But the problem is when you get so many of them doing it, the wages come down.
They don't. I'm telling you now, wages have nothing to do with them.
Look, if I'm obligated, if the minimum wage is 10, that's what I'm obligated to pay. 10. That means anything else over that is gravy. And when I feel like bringing it down, I'll bring it down for the next person. I can't bring it down for the person who already got the job, but the next person that's going to apply for that job, I can bring that wage down. Well, I got a job, the position,
you can't do that, bro.
14 now.
All right, industries are industries, bro. They pay what they pay in industries. Period. You can't just say, "Oh, he illegal. I'm gonna give him this." Hold on, bro. Hold on. You can't just say just because he illegal or he want to take less, I'm gonna give him less, bro. That's not how industries work. If you want to give that person less, that's what you do. The people in industries don't. That's not how shit work, bro.
Look,
that's not how it works.
You are going off what you know about a union. Every company is not collectively bargained.
That doesn't matter.
Have a union, so those things don't apply.
You still can't hire nobody illegal.
I'm not talking about illegals.
So how are they taking your job?
I'm not talking about illegals. Illegals take your job. Illegals will take your job by just coming over here.
See, y'all. That's my point. I was trying to make. If illegals can't have jobs, that's illegal. Now, if somebody come here illegal, they should have the chance to have a job just like you. Period.
Shit. I know companies right now that got illegals.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
I know others.
It's illegal. You said the word
right. Got a rack of illegals.
But you use the word illegal, right? All right, that's that.
Right. What's illegal? People without papers. I know some companies that got people without papers.
That's illegal. So that's not suppressing you, bro. It's illegal.
And
that's not even. It can't. Come on, man.
And you know why? In this company,
Captain, let you huh? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, and in this particular company, people would be making more, but they're paying illegals a certain amount, so they don't have to pay the other people what they should be getting. So they got a choice: either you work for this or you kick rocks. That's how they're undercutting your wages.
Go ahead, Cap.
I'm kind of done with that. I mean, if you don't see it, you don't see it. So we can't explain it to you anymore. So if you don't think they're undercutting your wages, then okay.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
At all. Right. Y'all haven't showed me or told me anything anyway yet. that make any fucking sense. Listen, because when I negotiate contracts, bro, it's nobody. They don't come. Hold on. They don't come into effect. Now, if anything is illegal, that don't come into effect to this, bro. Now, I what you're saying. It's illegal jobs out there they taking, but they're not jobs that most black people want. The shit you talking about is irrelevant.
So you're a union guy, right? You're a union guy, right? Okay, let me try to.
Go ahead.
I want to try to help. Maybe this analogy will help you understand what we're saying here. So, as a union guy, are you aware of the history of unions?
Oh man.
Okay, so history. Okay, so the history of unions, right? You know, for a long time, the black people were not allowed into the unions, right?
Yeah, it started with I Am Man almost.
Right. So but do you know the most in the Reconstruction era, the most skilled workers in America were black people because we had all the skills. We were, carpenters and all this. We weren't just slaves picking cotton. We worked and had a bunch of skills.
Were we taking white people jobs?
We absolutely were.
So when we was picking cotton, we was taking white people jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, because white people didn't want to pick cotton.
Yes, we were. We were taking their jobs, and that's why a lot of people were a lot of African Americans were lynched and
white
punished.
People was picking cotton before they pulled us over there to pick cotton for.
A lot of people were lynched and killed after slavery because they wanted to eliminate the competition. Because again, if I'm a white carpenter and a black carpenter, who are people going to hire? A lot of times they hired the black carpenter because they could get him for lower wages. So you have to eliminate the competition. And once you eliminate the competition, then the white employee or white carpenter can get the money that he wanted. And so we fast forward to when we were manufacturing and getting into unions, it was black people had to tell people, listen, if you want the wages to go up for these union individuals, you have to let us in the union because we're going to work under the table. So if you want us to work under the table, now this was getting black people into the union was a benefit to get black people to number one, stop being lynched and beaten and threatened and all that, right? So that would help them and would also drive everyone's wages up because they were in the union. That was one of the biggest things about the union. When the police were busting up unions and things like that, they were also beating black people who were going across the line, and they were going across the line because they were working for less wages. So it's the same principle. It's the same principle. If you allow when you saturate the market with workers, law and supply and demand, when you saturate the market with workers, then you can drop their wages. That's why neither party, in my opinion, is going to do anything about it, because they know as long as there's a plethora or a bunch of workers, then they can always keep the wages low. But once you get people in the union, or when you get them skilled, permitted here legally, or stop or diminish the market, then you have to drive the wages up. Why do you drive the wages up? Because there's not many people to do it. So I hope that this analogy can help you understand that when there's more people, you drive the wages down, and you could charge more as a barber, and you would get more money as a barber when and if you would allow them, or when and if the government would stop all these other people from doing, or stop these people from cutting hair on the side, because those people who are getting their hair cut on the side would have to come to you. And then if you're booked up all the time, you're like, shoot, I'm not charging $10 anymore, $15. I'm charging $20 because my time is valuable. Look at all these customers. They're going to pay what I want. That would be for you and for everyone. It's the same principle. You want to get more money, you have to eliminate all the street barbers that are out here where they're running around no permits and licenses. It's the same principle. And this is occurring right now we told you about Home Depot. We told you about Lowe's. It's going on with the fruit pickers. Alabama did it. And it's not that they're taking our job.
They're not. Yeah.
Listen, hold on. Here's what's happening. We're trying to help you understand that when black people, when the reason that black people don't want to pick cotton or sharecrop anymore is because we did that back in the 1940s, and they kept our wages low. So they had to bring in these other immigrants from South America and Central America to do the job that black people didn't want to do anymore. So we didn't want to do it because we weren't getting paid and because of abuses. The job that these people have is backbreaking hard labor, and it's not worth $10 an hour. It's worth $20, $25, $30 an hour. And if nobody would, let's just say there was no more illegal immigration right now, nobody's here to do it, then you know what they would have to do? They would, if you want some good orange juice or good fresh fruit, you'd be like, okay, well, we gotta pay these people. Somebody's got to go out there and get it. So instead of giving them $10 an hour, we got to raise it up to $20 and $30 an hour. The whole line of supply and demand, the whole line is why there was slavery in the first place, because somebody needed to pick the cotton, somebody needed to build the railroads, somebody needed to go into the mines. Before white people were doing in West Virginia, it was black people that was going into the mine to get the coal and to get the iron ore. And so they don't want to do that anymore. So if you didn't have these other individuals who were working under the table, if there were none of them involved, nobody to pick the fruit, nobody working at Home Depot, nobody standing outside or at Home Depot, nobody cutting hair on the side, all this type of stuff that people do under the table, if all those people were eliminated, then they'd have to give you what you deserve for it. Listen, I'll pay you. I own a company, and I want you to I want you to do this. Well, I want $20 an hour. Well, listen, I really need to build a house. And Joe Smo over there needs to build a house, and I'm going to give you $20. I'm going to work for the guy who's going to give me $30 an hour. That's how wages go up. But when you have a surplus of individuals, be like, okay, well, you're going to work for 10. Okay, I'll give it to you. Or you're going to work for 8. Okay, well, you're going to work for 6. I'll keep driving the prices down. And that hurts all of us. And yet that's how they're taking that's when they say they're taking our jobs. That's what they mean when they say they're taking our jobs.
And say at the end, they're not actually taking our jobs, right?
Okay, I've explained it the best way I can. If you don't see it, if you don't see that they're taking a job,
they're not actually taking them, right? They're not actually taking jobs.
They are taking jobs. It is a job that you could be doing. It is a job that you could be picking cotton, not cotton. Well, you could be doing sharecropping. You could be working. You could be working at a construction. You could be going up on a roof. You could be doing whatever. You could be doing that. The reason that you're not doing it, the reason that so many people right now would rather be on government assistance, the reason that so many other people would rather do other things is because they are being undercut and the job isn't worth it. It's not worth the money. If you make the job worth the money, the reason that cops get paid, cops right now get paid so much in comparison to what they were getting paid in the 60s and 70s. The reason that they had to start paying them is because there was so much corruption going on. So the police departments had to say, hey, you know what? We can't have cops stealing money, taking money from drug dealers, doing all this crazy stuff. So you know what? How are we going to stop that? We got to pay them. You know how we stop illegal immigrants from coming to the country? We got to pay the people and make them want to work. So it's easier for people right now to sit home and say, I'm just going to collect a check because I'm going to get the same amount of money. After the pandemic, people are like, I'm not going back to work. I'm just going to keep collecting money because there's too many other people who are willing to do the job for a lesser amount of money. That's how the job is being taken. I could be a roofer. You could be a roofer. You could be a construction worker. You could be a mason. You could be out there plowing roads. You could be doing it. But because other people are doing it for cheaper amount of money, that's what drives the price down. We can't explain it to you anymore.
And all I'm saying is that's something you never in your wildest dream and rest of your life can control. People know how to do stuff. And people will pay.
It is. We can't control it 100%. I agree. We can't control it 100%, but we can certainly do something. But certainly we could do something about it. And what we could do about it is eliminate the amount of people who are coming here legally and illegally. That's what we can do about it.
I love motherfucking the deep detailed conversation we had right here, bro. I love that shit, bro. I appreciate you coming on this joint, man, and expanding on these topics. But just like you said, the immigration and all that stuff we got into with the Republican, Democrat, that's basically why we started this podcast, really. But that right there is real important. You know what I'm saying? The differences and what are not the differences. And that's my conversation I want to have black people listen to. That is it right there. You know what I'm saying? And then you just have to be black too. So that's black people having a black conversation where they disagree on certain things. I like that shit, bro. What you think, Sean? Before we get out of here,
what I think.
Let my man go.
What I think, this has been a hell of a lively conversation this evening. That's what I think. But as you can see, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
it's
you
more than
lot too, man.
Yeah, it's more than one way. It's more than one thought process, and it's more than one way to solve the problems that's out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people, and I try to drill it in their head. Y'all have to do the research. Y'all have to know who you voting for, who your representatives are, and what they stand for. And look, learn to read between the lines. You know,
Definitely.
like I say, if you can look at this podcast tonight right here, and you can see you got basically three different ways of thinking, and yet everybody passionate about the way they think and the way they feel. And that's what we want for our listeners and viewers out there. So that's what I gotta say tonight.
Appreciate you,
and we appreciate we appreciate you, Captain. And it's been a hell of a conversation.
You let everybody know what you at, man. You still be podcast?
Man, I haven't done it for a while. I don't know if I told you, man. I'm actually in school, so I'm finishing up, man. So I haven't done an episode in a while.
Okay.
But I certainly plan to get to it. I want to do some rebranding. I was talking about more police stuff, obviously, before. I don't want to do that anymore. I mean, I think that we got to get into. I want to stop people from getting in contact with the police, if that makes any sense. So I really want to focus on Black men, making sure we're the best version of ourselves, becoming politically active, politically astute, fixing our health, fixing the way we eat, becoming better fathers, and better husbands, fixing our marriages, fixing what's going on in the Black community, because we can't trust politicians to do it. We can't trust police to do it. So we have to do it. So I'll talk about some police stuff here and there, but going forward, I really want to focus on Black men. So it's called Captain Hunter's Podcast. I still do some audio versions are up. And if you go to, I think I changed the name of it to, I did change the name of it to Hunter's Podcast. I'm still kind of playing with the name, which I want to do. Still, there's still a lot of episodes on YouTube, a lot of episodes, if you Google it on Podbean, Captain Hunter's Podcast is still Captain Hunter's Podcast on Podbean. You can listen to the audio, all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I'm in school finishing up and just doing a lot of rebranding. And that's it, man. So pick up a copy of my book here.
Oh yeah.
Police reform. Police reform. I wrote a book about police reform. So if you go to lulu.com, 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 and you can get a copy of it there. I think it's on Kindle as well. So yeah, just pick up a copy of that and just get my thoughts about police reform, what we can do to change policing culture. But like I said, I really want to focus on Black men, making us the best versions of ourselves.
So what about eating right? The vegan still
Yeah, man, I'm still doing that. I'm still a vegan. What I call a whole food plant-based diet. Really, it's really eating more fruits and vegetables. Everything is fruits and vegetables. Trying to stay away from the processed stuff. That's the difference between being a vegan. A lot of the times vegans are eating a lot of these so-called plant-based burgers and all that kind of stuff. And I eat that once in a while. I'm not, saying I don't ever eat it, but the majority of my diet is just, whole food plants, fruits, vegetables, oats, rice, just really things that come straight from the earth, trying to eliminate as much as possible the processed stuff. So no animal products, no eggs, no mayonnaise, no fish, no shellfish, no dairy. Definitely stay away from dairy. So and no meat, chicken. I don't eat any of that. So just fruits, vegetables, and all that stuff. So I've been doing that for almost 2 years now. So
I know the feeling.
I appreciate you a whole lot, bro.
Yeah. Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Appreciate it a whole lot.
Yeah. A lot of us are dying way too young. We're getting sick. I have had friends who've had strokes at 40, 45, 50 years old. That's young. I know you guys, it's way too young to be doing that, man. And so we really gotta change the way we think. Tupac said we got to change the way we eat, got to change the way we think, and we got to change the way that we live. And so it really, all the stuff that we're talking about, the politics and everything, I appreciate what you guys are doing, trying to get people to become more politically astute. But the first thing we got to do is live long enough to do it.
Most stuff you gotta be alive.
We got to be able to do it.
First,
and we got to add years, not only years to our life, but life to our years, right? There's no sense of being 60 years old, can't walk up a flight of steps, or having, diabetes and heart attacks and all this stuff.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, so we got to do it, man. We got to do it. We got to make the changes, and we know again, neither party. I just saw a commercial the other day talking about some of the things that we eat, like Nabisco crackers and stovetop stuffing, is actually banned in other countries. Think about that. The amount of chemicals that they put in our food is banned in other countries. Fruits and vegetables is it, man. I mean, as much as you can get it. If you can get it fresh, that'd be great. If you got to buy it frozen, that'd be the second option, and third would be canned. But eat your spinach, eat your greens, do what you got to do,
Yeah, I just went
definitely spinach.
I just went to my doctor today. She got my business about what I be eating.
So that's where it all starts. Yeah, that's where it all starts. All right, brothers, thank you so much, man. I got to wake up early in the morning, so
appreciate you, prayer.
All right, guys, take care of yourselves.
All right, peace out.
Please about this thing to game. You know what I'm saying? Now, fight on. Randy Jones. That's the number one soul brother right there. We appreciate our guests for coming past long time.
Right.
You know
and for those that don't, this is how we started. This is how we started arguing in the lunchroom, and it used to be worse.
Yeah.
What y'all seen tonight wasn't shit.
But yeah, I just want anybody out there joins a Republican, Black Republican, or
come on,
you know what I'm saying? We want that debate.
Yeah,
this is the debate we want. We want Black people to see Black people debate the issues, the hardcore issues,
right?
That's still going on in politics that touch our lives and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this HVP, Hoodview Politics. Hey, one thing I gotta do this motherfucker. Right. Hey, appreciate y'all know. Everybody, every crew. I'll let you go. HVP. It's true on Spotify. You know what I'm saying, dog? Cool podcast, alcohol. It's true. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood.